Off the top, man, I was, a little disappointed. Just for the sake of boxing itself, and obviously my result for the fight.
In a surprising twist, Lamont Roach's appeal to the New York State Athletic Commission has been denied, leaving him furious with the outcome. With so much at stake, it's no surprise that analysts and fans alike are eagerly anticipating what's next. Voicing his thoughts, Eddie Hearn weighed in on how the New York State Athletic Commission might handle the situation. He speculated that the commission was never close to overturning the decision. Regarding the potential rematch, Hearn emphasized that it's not within the commission's power to order one. Instead, he pointed out that the decision will ultimately lie with the WBA and other governing bodies, who will have the final say on whether the rematch takes place.
No, I don't think they do. So,
Eddie now go for an immediate rematch if they don't.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, the reality is can the state call for an immediate rematch? I don't believe they can, the commission. It's really up to the governing body. I mean, the commission can overturn a decision or rule on a decision, but can they order a rematch? That really has to come from the governing body, the WBA, to say, if you want to remain lightweight world champion. But everything I'm hearing is the rematch is going to happen anyway.
Echoing his sentiments on the New York State Athletic Commission, Gary Jonas, the promoter for Lamont Roach, also weighed in on the situation. He pointed out that the commission had actually been swayed by the draw, choosing not to overturn the decision. With confidence, he revealed that he had anticipated this outcome, asserting that since no one was seriously injured in the fight, the commission felt it was appropriate to leave the decision as a draw. Gary emphasized that if the fight had not ended in a draw, there was a strong possibility the commission might have reconsidered or even overturned the decision. This stance, he explained, was based on the idea that in contentious situations like these, the presence of a clear resolution, like a draw, was often the best way to avoid further controversy.
Well, we were kind of expecting it. I mean, we know the pattern, and the reality is that the draw made it easy for the commission to go this route, meaning no harm done to anybody. And so the philosophy that Gervonta would have fought the fight differently had he known he got taken a 2-point round, that's a legitimate argument. It doesn't change the fact that, well, who's getting the short end of the stick? Somebody has to, and now they decided it has to be Lamont. But the draw made it easier. So they're just saying, okay, well, listen, do it again. We'll figure it out. It's a draw. It's no blood, no foul. So
moving on with this victory, Roach has truly solidified his position as a top contender, quickly rising to stardom. Gary, reflecting on its significance, emphasized that Roach has won over the hearts of his fans, which is exactly what he aimed to do. While he regarded the decision of the New York Athletic Commission as an unfortunate blow to the sport of boxing, Jonas praised Roach for showcasing his dominance in the ring. He pointed out that it is the fans who know the truth, that Roach was the rightful winner, and that's what truly matters. According to Jonas, proving oneself in the eyes of the audience and leaving behind a legacy that speaks for itself has always been the ultimate goal, a goal that Roach has now undoubtedly achieved.
I think it's unfortunate from the legacy point of view, from all the little things that not always, we're not going to say they don't matter. The most important thing out of this is that people know who won that fight. People know Lamont won that fight. That to me is number one, because it's the fans who matter and it's what they think that matters. And so we got that too. The young man deserved all the recognition he's gotten in the last week, and this has made him an overnight star, and he deserves it. He deserves it for the way he handles himself, the way he contorts himself. So we got almost everything. We just didn't get it all.
Leading up to the decision, many speculated that the New York State Athletic Commission would overturn the outcome of the Tank Roach fight. There was widespread anticipation that Tank Davis would be ruled to have scored a knockdown in the 9th round. However, the commission's ruling has left everyone stunned. Roach, visibly upset, responded to the announcement, expressing his deep disappointment with the commission's decision.
Off the top, man, I was, a little disappointed. Just for the sake of boxing itself, and obviously my result for the fight. I think, like, the key that they pointed out the things that were actually done wrong, and there's still no movement to overturn the fight. Just really saddened me a little bit.
Acknowledging that the decision could not be overturned, Roach admitted he had anticipated this outcome. Despite delivering a standout performance that showcased his best fighting qualities and provided fans with an unforgettable fight night, Roach had hoped the result might tilt in his favor. However, with his expectations dashed, he directed his frustration at the New York State Athletic Commission, accusing them of failing to deliver justice.
But I wasn't too hung on the decision of the New York State Athletic Commission. I kind of accepted my fate just a little bit. I had a lot of hope, though. I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of hope, but it is what it is.
Meanwhile, on Saturday, Lamont Roach shared his thoughts on social media after the New York State Athletic Commission upheld the majority draw ruling from his fight against WBA lightweight champion Gervonta Davis. In his post, Roach expressed his emotions regarding the NYSAC review outcome, emphasizing his disappointment and frustration while also acknowledging the complexities involved in the decision. He clarified his stance on the fight's result and reiterated his determination to continue pushing for better opportunities in the sport. Roach's reaction conveyed both respect for the decision process and a resolve to move forward, pushing for future success in the lightweight division. He wrote on X, "I'm not surprised about the decision by the NYSAC. A little disappointed, yeah, especially when they acknowledged the fact that Steve made the wrong calls in the 9th round, but I wasn't banking on the overturn." After the decision, rumors began circulating that Lamont Roach might pursue legal action against the New York State Athletic Commission. However, no official steps have been taken in that direction. Roach's promoter, Gary Jonas, addressed these rumors, making it clear that while the decision to file a lawsuit is ultimately Roach's to make, he strongly advised against it. Jonas pointed out that taking legal action could become a significant distraction, potentially shifting Roach's focus away from what matters most, his future in the ring. Instead, Jonas emphasized the importance of staying focused on the bigger picture, encouraging Roach to channel his energy into preparing for the highly anticipated rematch. He further confirmed that the rematch is on the horizon and will be happening very soon, offering Roach a fresh opportunity to prove himself in the lightweight division.
The reality is, people ask me, are we going to sue him? Look, inevitably that's Lamont's decision, and I can't tell them what to do or not to do, but I will say this. I'm not in favor of a drawn-out lawsuit. It's more distraction. I really would prefer Lamont have the mentality, and I think he does, that let's go get it. Let's stay focused. This rematch is coming soon. It's not going to be a long wait. And I just want him to get back to focus on what he does in the ring, and all this outside the ring thing, it's a distraction.
Further reflecting on the fight, Gary emphasized that facing Gervonta Davis was a tremendous test of Lamont Roach's skills and abilities. Despite many people doubting Roach's chances against a fighter of Davis's caliber, Roach showed that he belongs at the top, proving his resilience and talent in the ring. Acknowledging the significance of this showdown, Gary stated that they have made the most out of this opportunity, using it as a platform to showcase Roach's true potential. With the experience from the first fight and the motivation it has provided, Gary is confident that Roach is more determined than ever. He believes that the lessons learned will fuel Roach in the rematch, where he expects Lamont to not only hold his own, but to dominate and prove that he has what it takes to beat Davis. The confidence and drive Roach has now will only make him a more formidable opponent in their next encounter.
So when you look at it, the whole thing, we add it all up, it was a great result for Lamont Roach in every way except that last formality. And now he's more motivated than ever before to go right the wrong. He's going to put that L on Gervonta. He's going to do it in the rematch, and it'll be a glorious time when he does it.
As the anticipation for the rematch builds, Lamont Roach took to share his thoughts. With renewed confidence, he stated that his past experience has made him more focused and motivated than ever to conquer Gervonta Davis this time around. Reflecting on their previous fight, which ended in a controversial majority draw, Roach is determined to ensure that no such outcome will affect the result of their next bout. Having already proven his skills and resilience in his previous encounter with Davis, a fight many considered a strong performance, Roach is unwavering in his belief that he will secure a victory this time. He sees this rematch as an opportunity to further solidify his place among the best in the sport, confidently asserting that, in his view, he too now belongs in the conversation as a pound-for-pound fighter.
Definitely, in my eyes and in my view, that I have to come with it all. I have to do more. Obviously, just to secure the win is doing just enough to get a draw. So I have to push harder. I have to train harder. I have to be more mean. I have to be more physical. I have to do a lot. I have to do everything just a little more. And I think that will definitely put me over the hump. And I'm more than motivated to get back in there, get back in the camp, and work hard so I can secure a victory over a pound for pound fighter, in which I believe that I am myself.
Reacting to the appeal result, Fannin International Boxing shared his thoughts on the matter. Fannin expressed that contrary to Lamont Roach and his team's stance, in his opinion, the ruling in favor of Gervonta Davis was fair, particularly when considering the controversial knee incident that had impacted the outcome. Fannin highlighted the scorecard, noting that at the time of the knee controversy, Davis was ahead on the scorecards. He argued that the call to declare it a knockdown was weak, suggesting that had the scorecard been in Roach's favor at that point, the argument for overturning the decision would have carried more weight. According to Fannin, the decision to uphold the majority draw was justifiable based on the circumstances surrounding the fight.
The arguments that have been put forward for having overturned that decision were weak arguments. The first one was that because it wasn't scored a 10-8 round for Lamont Roach, that means that Lamont Roach, if it had been scored a 10-8 round for Lamont Roach, that means that the outcome of the fight would have changed and he would have won the fight. No, because you don't know what would have happened with Gervonta Davis if Gervonta Davis had known that it was a 10-8 round. So even though Gervonta Davis himself said he took the knee because something was in his eye and it was better than getting knocked out, that's the decision that the referee and the judges made, and now it's been upheld by the WBA and the New York State Athletic Commission.
Amidst the controversy, many speculated that Gervonta Davis should be disqualified due to the hair chemical issue and taking a knee. However, Fannin held a different view. He emphasized that under the protect yourself at all times rule, Davis made the right decision by going to his corner to wipe his face and prevent the chemical from irritating his eyes. Fannin dismissed the calls for disqualification as silly and firmly stated that the decision by the New York State Athletic Commission was fair, supporting their ruling as the appropriate outcome.
Also, there were some other silly arguments that were made as far as he should be suspended or he should be disqualified because he had the oil on his hair. And since he had oil on his hair, that is a toxic chemical and a hazardous chemical. So therefore, he should be disqualified for that. He should also be disqualified because he turned his back and grabbed a towel to wipe the hazardous material, which they're saying is hazardous, right? By their own claims, they're saying it's hazardous. He wiped out the hazardous material or toxic material out of his eye, and you should disqualify him for that? Nah, man. There was also an adage called protect yourself at all times, including when your eyes burning, I suppose. But anyway, I think that is a great outcome.
On the other hand, Lamont Roach expressed his belief that although the scorecards were not judged fairly, every true boxing fan witnessed what truly happened in the ring. He emphasized that for him, the most important factor is the recognition of his formidable performance throughout the fight. Roach reflected on the appeal not going in his favor, asserting that his supporters and those familiar with boxing rules have consistently backed him, condemning the controversy surrounding the decision. He urged the New York State Athletic Commission to overturn the ruling. Despite the decision going against him, Roach confidently stated that the true outcome of the fight, and especially his performance, has been etched in the hearts of fans. He believes that everyone who saw the fight knows that it was clearly Roach's night.
For boxing fans and even the spectators across the world, man, just it shows their support. It shows that everyone saw what happened that night. Everyone saw the true outcome. Even though we didn't get it on the scorecard, everyone knows, and that's the importance. Even throughout this appeal situation, they were supportive and thinking that the fight should have been overturned, and that's what really matters. That everyone knows. So yeah, we didn't get it on paper, but in the hearts of everyone who watched that fight, and especially the ones that are sensible, they know what happened that night, man.
Backing Roach's stance, Coach Bernie also shared his thoughts on the matter. He highlighted the widespread sentiment that Roach's performance was truly impressive, pointing to the strong support he's received from fans and experts alike. Bernie elaborated on how he viewed the fight, noting that Roach was aggressive from the very first round, taking control and establishing his presence in the ring. Throughout the fight, he displayed a level of dominance that was hard to ignore, consistently dictating the pace and showcasing his skill. Bernie made it clear that Roach not only fought with intensity, but also proved his capability as a top-tier boxer. In his eyes, the fight was a clear display of Roach's potential and ability to compete at the highest level.
I was kind of alluding to that. Yeah, like I say, the comfortability that he got and you know, yes, yeah, he probably, like I say, from round one when he was boxing him, he had he wasn't going for nothing. Tank was he wasn't going for nothing, but he waited too much on Tank after that, and he started to let Tank get in his head. He let his hands go enough, but not enough. He let his hands go enough, but not enough. If he watched that fight.
Furthermore, Coach Bernie didn't hold back in his criticism of Gervonta "Tank" Davis, pointing out that Davis took a significant beating from Roach during their fight. He stressed that while Davis was widely loved and considered the favorite, many expected him to easily overcome Roach. However, the fight turned out to be completely contrary to those expectations, with Roach asserting his dominance and challenging Tank in ways many hadn't anticipated. Bernie also shared his thoughts on the upcoming rematch, acknowledging that after witnessing the first fight, the anticipation for the rematch has only grown stronger. He noted that now, fans and boxing observers alike are eager to see Tank face a Roach again, with many hoping to see Davis get a harsh beating this time around. According to Bernie, the excitement surrounding the rematch is palpable, and everyone is looking forward to seeing Roach prove himself even more convincingly in their next encounter.
Now everybody know Tank, kind of like you say, they love him too, and they turn on you on a dime. Yeah, people want to see him get his ass beat, even though they rooting for him and talking about how good he is, but they sick of his bullshit too. So people want to see him get his ass whooped. You know, people terrible. But far as that, like I say, you know, that's the only reason why they want to see him get beat. They just want to see him get beat.
As the rematch between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach continues to generate widespread discussion, many individuals are sharing their opinions. Greg from AM Sports Media weighed in on the situation, emphasizing the significance of the upcoming fight. He suggested that instead of facing Lamont Roach again, Gervonta Davis should consider fighting Shakur Stevenson. Greg argued that a rematch with Roach could potentially devalue Davis's dominance, as many fans might view it as a cherry pick, questioning his decision to fight Roach again. According to Greg, taking on Shakur Stevenson would help Davis solidify his place in the boxing world, reaffirming his standing as one of the top fighters in the sport. He believes that by stepping up to face a fighter like Stevenson, Davis would prove his readiness to take on the best, thereby strengthening his legacy in the boxing community.
On this, my personal opinion is he should go down the path of Shakur Stevenson. I think that would be what makes the most sense, just from my personal opinion, and that's really because, you know, at the end of the day, I feel like you need to go ahead and knock Shakur Stevenson off. You're not going to get much credit for beating Lamont Roach. Fans are going to come right back and say that, you know, he's a cherry. He wasn't that good to begin with. Even if Tank goes in there and knocks him out, all they're going to say is he wasn't a great fighter to begin with, right? Even though we don't believe that's the case, we believe that Lamont Roach is a really good fighter. But I believe that is what's going to materialize in the event Gervonta Davis wins a rematch. So to me, it's all downside.
In addition to sharing his thoughts on why Tank Davis should face Shakur Stevenson instead of Lamont Roach, Greg also discussed why the rematch between Roach and Davis is generating so much buzz. According to Greg, the fight between Roach and Tank has sparked massive attention, with Roach particularly emerging as a star almost overnight. And in Greg's view, this only heightens the anticipation for their rematch. He believes that the ongoing conversation and drama surrounding the fight will make the rematch an even bigger spectacle, potentially turning it into a major sellout. Ultimately, Greg sees this as a huge opportunity to make the rematch even more lucrative, tapping into the growing interest and excitement from boxing fans.
We'll say this, the reason why I believe they're going down this path is because this thing went viral. Right? You've seen Lamont Roach's star grow exponentially over the last 7 days. He's been on all these talk shows. Tank has had to respond to it. This has created a level of controversy that I believe would actually sell a rematch. I had a buddy of mine who doesn't really watch boxing called me the next day and said, "What happened to your boy?" Right? So that means that this is now extending beyond just casual boxing fans. My wife asked me about the fight. Again, she doesn't follow any sport. So this is now extending beyond just boxing, right? Your casual fans. So I think that's the reason why they'll probably pursue this, because more than likely the rematch will be much more lucrative than the first fight.
Well, it's official. The NYSAC has upheld the decision, and the controversy surrounding that majority draw remains. Lamont Roach and his team might not have gotten the outcome they were hoping for, but there's no denying that the tension surrounding this fight has only fueled the anticipation for the rematch. Will Roach come back stronger, or will Davis prove once again why he's at the top? The stakes have never been higher. Make sure to subscribe, like, and hit the bell for all the latest updates as we get closer to what promises to be a thrilling rematch. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Roach can take it this time? Who do you have winning in the rematch? Stay tuned for all the latest boxing updates.